It's 3 in the morning. The house is completely silent in that heavy way only late night can be. Somewhere down the hall there is an expensive cat bed nobody uses. Meanwhile, you are stuck in place because a small furry weight has glued itself to your legs. Your foot starts tingling, you cannot move, and the cat somehow weighs 10 pounds but feels like a small planet. Most people assume the cat just wants warmth or attention. But animal behavior research suggests something more complicated is happening. In that moment, your cat may be carrying out a very old survival habit. Think about the situation from their perspective. Cats are crepuscular, meaning their bodies are built for activity at dawn and dusk. Their nervous systems are tuned for alertness and fast reactions. For an animal designed to stay vigilant, falling into deep sleep in the open is risky. Instinct normally pushes them toward hidden spots like high shelves or tight spaces where predators cannot easily reach them. Yet many cats walk past those quiet corners and choose to sleep beside a human much larger than they are. A sleeping human moves suddenly, breathes loudly, and could roll over without warning. From a survival viewpoint, it seems like a strange choice. But by curling against you, the cat may be relying on you as part of its safety system. In wildcat colonies, there is a behavior sometimes described as pillowing. Several cats sleep pressed together in a small group. This close contact forms a sensory network. If one animal reacts to a distant sound or vibration, the others feel the movement and wake quickly. When a cat presses against your legs or torso, they may be tapping into a similar system. Your larger body produces steady movement from breathing and shifting during sleep. Those signals can act like a background awareness system. To the cat, you become a kind of living anchor within the territory. Cats are also extremely sensitive to subtle environmental changes. They can notice shifts in pressure, vibrations, and faint sounds humans rarely detect. During the quietest part of the night, they often settle near what they perceive as the center of their territory. In many homes, that center is you. By sleeping close, they place themselves beside what they consider the most important and powerful part of the household. It creates a strange partnership. You provide the stable fortress, and they provide the sharp senses that scan the environment. Over time, these routines become oddly specific. One cat might always choose your left hip. Another might insist on curling around your neck. We rarely question these habits. They simply become part of the nighttime routine. Every time your cat shifts or presses closer, they are adjusting their position around that anchor point. If you move, they move. If you stay still, they settle deeper. It becomes a quiet exchange happening while both of you sleep. In a way, it reflects thousands of years of shared living between cats and humans. To understand that behavior, it helps to rethink a common belief about cats. For a long time, people described cats as solitary animals. Dogs are known for packs and group loyalty, while cats were thought to be independent hunters that preferred to live alone. But research in animal behavior suggests a more complex picture. Cats often hunt alone because small prey can easily be scared away by groups. However, that does not mean they live alone. In the wild, many cats form small social groups known as clouders. These groups usually consist of related females and their kittens that share territory and resources. Within these groups, one important behavior appears during rest. Cats gather close together and sleep in contact. This physical closeness is sometimes described as tactile social buffering. Sleeping is the most vulnerable moment for any animal. Cats occupy the middle of the food chain. They hunt smaller animals, but larger predators can hunt them. Because of that risk, resting together offers protection. When multiple cats sleep in contact, each one becomes part of a shared warning system. A sudden movement from one animal quickly wakes the others. The surprising part is that humans do not possess the same senses cats rely on. Our hearing, smell, and night vision are much weaker than theirs. On paper, a human seems like a poor sleep partner for a vigilant predator. Yet many cats deliberately choose to sleep beside their humans anyway. After thousands of years living near us, cats appear to have adapted their instincts. Instead of seeing humans as unpredictable giants, they often treat us as stable protectors within the territory. Our size, our control of the home, and the shelter we provide create a different kind of security. From the cat's perspective, we become something like a super sentinel. We may not detect danger as quickly as they can, but the shelter and protection we provide make the space feel safe enough for them to rest. When a cat decides to sleep out in the open on your bed, it is ignoring millions of years of survival instinct. Normally, a small predator avoids vulnerable places during sleep. Choosing your bed means they are taking a calculated risk. In that moment, they are trusting that as long as they stay close to you, nothing else will threaten them. It is a quiet kind of surrender. Sometimes it raises a funny question. Are they guarding the room for you? Or have they decided you are the giant bodyguard keeping the entire world away? Either way, the arrangement works both ways. You provide the safe fortress, and they provide the sensitive ears and instincts that monitor the night. It is a silent partnership that happens every evening when the lights go out. The bond between humans and cats is not just emotional. There is also a physical component tied to touch and vibration. Dogs often connect with people through eye contact. Cats tend to connect through physical contact. When your cat curls up on your chest or presses against your back, they may be starting something called interspecific co-regulation. One of the main tools involved is the purr. Many people think purring simply means a cat is happy. In reality, the sound carries a specific vibration range. Most purring falls between about 25 and 150 Hz. In medical research, this range is sometimes associated with vibrations that support bone strength, tendon recovery, and reduced swelling in mammals. For a small animal that cannot seek medical treatment, this ability may help the body recover while resting. When a cat lies against you while purring, those tiny vibrations travel through your body as well. At the same time, your brain often releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone that slows heart rate and lowers stress chemicals like cortisol. Your calmer breathing and heart rhythm then signal safety to the cat, helping them relax more deeply. In that way, both nervous systems influence each other. Your calm supports their rest, and their presence supports yours. Some people even say they struggle to fall asleep without that familiar rumbling sound nearby. The place your cat chooses to sleep is rarely random. Over time, those spots form a kind of relationship map across the mattress. Each location reflects a different comfort or instinct. Zone 1: the head. The area around your head is often considered the highest trust zone. Cats that sleep on your pillow or curl around your head are drawn to your scent. Your hair and breath carry strong personal smells that help them recognize you. Your head also releases more body heat than many other areas, making it a warm resting place. Another factor is sensory connection. Your ears and breathing movements give subtle signals about the environment, and a nearby cat can sense them easily. For a cat, this position is both warm and deeply familiar. Zone 2: the chest and torso. The chest area often relates to rhythm. Young kittens grow up pressed close together while hearing the steady heartbeat of their mother. When an adult cat lies across your chest, they may be drawn to that same rhythmic pulse. Feeling the rise and fall of breathing can create a strong sense of security. For the cat, it confirms that the living, breathing companion they trust is right there beside them. Zone 3: the feet. Then there is the sentry position at the foot of the bed. Some owners feel a little offended when their cat sleeps near their ankles, assuming the cat is distant or unfriendly. But in feline behavior, this position can actually signal responsibility. Cats that choose the foot of the bed often take on a watchful role. They stay close enough to maintain the social bond, but far enough to keep their strategic advantage. From there, they can see the doorway and still reach the floor instantly if something moves. In a way, they are guarding the room. Their instinct says your job is to sleep while their job is to monitor the entrance. What is funny is how consistent these roles become. One cat may claim the exact same patch of your hip for years. Another refuses to sleep anywhere except the center of your pillow. It almost feels like they held a secret meeting to divide the sleeping positions. Meanwhile, we humans quietly surrender our leg space and accept becoming living furniture. The self-domestication history. To understand why your cat currently controls the blanket, we have to go back roughly 10,000 years to the Fertile Crescent. Cats and dogs entered human life in very different ways. Humans intentionally shaped dogs through breeding and training. Cats, on the other hand, essentially recruited us. When humans began storing grain, rodents gathered around those food supplies. To the ancestors of modern cats, these early villages looked like endless hunting grounds. Those ancestors were the North African wildcat. For them, human settlements were basically a buffet of mice. But there was a catch. To reach that food supply, these independent predators had to tolerate living near large, noisy humans. Over generations, a remarkable process unfolded called self-domestication. The cats that naturally handled human presence better were the ones that thrived. Gradually, those cats passed on calmer temperaments. Their stress responses softened, and their tolerance for human proximity increased. Genetic researchers later discovered differences in neural crest cells within domestic cats. These cells influence the fight or flight response. Compared with wild cats, domestic cats show changes in brain regions linked to fear and aggression. So your cat sleeping beside your head is actually the outcome of thousands of years of subtle evolution. They exchanged total independence for a different type of safety. Instead of avoiding humans, they slowly evolved to seek us out for comfort. Curling up beside you is part of that long adaptation. It is honestly kind of wild to think about. A small predator equipped with claws, night vision, and hunting instincts decides the safest place on Earth is next to your ribs. It is basically a peace treaty written into genetics. Some people joke that cats are just freeloaders who perfected their strategy over 10,000 years. And when you are pushed to the edge of the mattress, while they sleep in the middle, that theory does feel suspiciously convincing. The sleep quality paradox. There is also what some people jokingly call the Mayo Clinic factor. On paper, letting a cat share your bed seems terrible for sleep quality. Studies tracking sleep patterns show cats interrupt their owners regularly. Cats are crepuscular, meaning their energy spikes at dawn and dusk. So while you are drifting into your deepest sleep stage, their internal clock might be announcing playtime. That is why sudden 4 a.m. sprints across the bed happen. They also have a special talent for attacking moving toes under blankets. Somehow they also manage to settle directly on your bladder the second you get comfortable. Objectively, these behaviors sound like terrible sleep companions, yet many owners still report sleeping better with their cats nearby. And that strange contradiction is exactly what researchers call the sleep quality paradox. By clinical standards, sleeping with a cat should disturb your rest. Yet surveys show many people actually feel more relaxed and secure when their cat sleeps nearby. Researchers sometimes call this the sleep quality paradox. One explanation is interspecies social buffering. Humans didn't evolve to sleep alone in silent rooms. For most of history, people slept in groups, surrounded by breathing, movement, and small nighttime sounds. Complete silence once meant danger. If animals suddenly stopped making noise, it could signal a predator. Our brains still carry some of that ancient wiring. When your cat sleeps near you, their presence can feel like a safety signal. Their senses are sharper than ours, so your nervous system relaxes knowing another creature is on watch. Even if they move and briefly wake you, many people drift back to sleep quickly because that sense of security remains. In a small way, your cat may help anchor your nervous system and reduce nighttime stress, even if it occasionally costs you some legroom. When the ritual breaks, cats evolve to hide weakness. In the wild, showing pain can make an animal vulnerable to predators, so cats often mask illness or discomfort. That's why long-standing routines matter. If a cat that always sleeps near you suddenly disappears at night, it can sometimes signal a change in their health. Veterinary research shows that shifts in sleeping location can appear before obvious symptoms. A cat choosing a closet under the bed or a cold floor might be trying to cope with discomfort. Conditions like arthritis, kidney disease, or hyperthyroidism can sometimes cause these changes. In older cats, disrupted routines may also be linked to feline cognitive dysfunction, a condition similar to dementia that can affect memory and nighttime behavior. Because cats communicate largely through behavior, routine changes are often their way of signaling that something feels different. When a familiar bedtime habit suddenly stops, it's worth paying attention and checking in with a veterinarian if the change continues. And if your cat is still showing up at 3 a.m. to steal your pillow or sit on your legs, remember they chose that spot. Out of all the places in the house, they picked the one that feels safest, right next to you.